Welcome everyone to the 2021 St. Charles Open presented by Smokin Aces Disc Golf and the St. Charles County Disc Golf Club. My name is Banden of BertBando Photography, and I'm here with my fellow teammate and Smokin Aces team captain, Rebekah Kersey.
Hey everybody, we are out here for the second round of the St. Charles Open, and we are at Quail Ridge Park in Wentzville, Missouri. On our leader card today, we have Andrew Presnell, Paul Omen, Rohler, and Max Anderson. We have a tight leaderboard here.
Coming out on hole 1, par 4, 469 feet. Going to be one of the easier holes these guys get to play today. It's pretty fairly well open with a sidewalk and street behind the basket. Out of bounds, pretty much just wanting to play out in the middle of the fairway. Big arm for a pitch up. Big arms may be able to get an eagle look here. Looks awfully windy today, so we're going to have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, this is one of those holes that you want to come out of the gate firing, you'd like to attack, but with the wind being a factor, you just don't know what's going to happen here.
First we got Prez on the tee. Looks like he might have got this a little bit turned over, but still pretty good distance.
Just digs into that hillside and kind of filters down into that lower tier.
Yeah, right by the A-pin.
Next up we have Paul Omen. Paul is from Evansville, Indiana, and he is an Innova sponsored player.
I've never actually seen Paul throw personally, so I'm excited to watch this coverage.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. He's a great guy, and he can shred some lines, man.
Look at how far out there he put that. Looks like it's stalling out a little bit. Hit that tree and dropped. Gonna have a pitch up.
Brock steps up, and he is going to go for his forehand mash. I like that approach into the green because it can take that OB on the right side out of play, and you can just kind of hyzer yourself in there.
Yeah, I did forget to mention there is a small section of OB on the right side of the fairway that is marked off. Brock pushed a little far left, looked like it flipped over a little bit too much. Hit a tree and dropped, so have a little pitch up.
Last on the box, we have Max Anderson. He's lining up the backhand, turns one over, and it looks like it's just going to come out of it, and just at that landing zone right before the top of the hill. If you can get to the top of the hill, that's obviously ideal. Just anything you can do to reduce that uphill shot on your next shot.
Yeah, coming uphill in this position, it looks like they have a bit of maybe a headwind, so you got to get that nose up.
Oh my gosh. That was so close.
Almost dunked it for an eagle off the get-go.
Wow. Good run.
Paul looks like he's got a tree maybe to compete with. Yeah, just going hyzer around the outside.
Just swings it up and nestles it close. So Brock looks like he's from like circle 2 range, just tosses it up there. Not trying to mess around with it just yet.
I mean, it's a pretty easy birdie.
Yeah, and like you did say, this is the easiest hole, so like why would you risk anything other than that, knowing that you can make an easy birdie?
Overall, this hole scored a 3.16 on the day, so almost nearly a full stroke under par.
It's pretty impressive.
Max here. Try to capitalize on his birdie.
Nice catch there by those chains. And he will walk away with the bird.
Prez after almost dunking it.
Yeah,
nice little tap
crazy.
in. Rock as well.
Is this a star frame here?
Yeah, it is. That's a star birdie.
Nice.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, right. Donate one to the kids. All right, hole 2. We have 469 feet. This is a par 3. Really not any OB to deal with unless you were to go up into that parking lot where you see those cars up there. You have tree line on the right. You could go over a walking path in that tree line if you got through somehow and didn't kick down. But you can either go backhand or forehand at this one. So lots of options. Let's see what our players decide to do.
I'm just noticing also, Presnell has a glove on his left hand. So I think, if I remember correctly, it was a little chilly this day. Grip could be an issue, especially with the wind.
Yeah, because I think they would have been teeing in like the middle of the day. So yeah, to see a glove at this time indicates that it was probably kind of a chilly day.
Oh, and he just snuck by there. That's going to be a good look for a 2. Maybe a little outside of circle 1.
Yeah, that was an awesome shot. So if you're going to play that right side, you just want to get almost as close to that tree line as you can without touching it and fall back into the fairway. You really have to flirt with it, though.
Yeah, if you hit it early, it's going to drop you, and you pretty much have to pitch around the corner to get up for your next shot. Paul here, lining up a backhand.
He's so deliberate, slow and deliberate with his approach, and I just so fascinated by it.
It's almost methodical.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Wow.
Talk about a roll.
Yeah, off the base of the tree and just curls into the circle for a birdie look.
Brock's going to take the outside route with the forehand. Oh, he may go flex.
Yeah, he might
I'm
flex
not
it on
quite
that
sure.
inside. I know he this disc
he went
in particular,
inside.
he likes to flex that one. It looks like it's just a little too low, so it couldn't work out of that flex shot.
Max looks like he's going to take the backhand.
Wow, look at those trees in the background. That's insane.
This looks great. Just get through. Punch through. Yeah, he'll have a pretty good look. Downhill, kind of a tester.
I mean, this is a hole that if you can birdie it, like, great. But it played just a little over par, so there's nothing wrong with taking your par here and moving on.
No, as long as you stay clean out of that right side and just be able to get up for your 3, I'd be happy with that.
For sure. So it looks like maybe a little discussion about whose turn it is. And let's see. Who looks like Max, okay?
One little fun fact here is Presnell drove like 14 hours, I think, overnight to be at our first round.
Yeah, so that was, he came from, North Carolina?
Yeah, from the Pro Tour Championship.
Yeah.
So good on him to be here. Max just missing the birdie bid there.
Yeah, he must really want it, you know?
He's an A-tier beast,
I know.
and it's pretty close to his hometown. So.
I mean, that's true, but just all that hustle to get back here, just to play another tournament, have another chance at a W under his belt.
Appreciate you coming out, Prez. Get it.
As you can that putt.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I feel like we're going to see a lot of those today.
Yep.
He's feeling it already on hole 2. I mean, hole 1, he almost dunked it for an eagle. So.
Yep. Shout out to Prez. He is a red team member of Smokin Aces. Fellow teammate of Rob and I.
Paul here looking at a little bit of a tricky downhill.
And this is for birdie. After that great little roll away off the base of that tree. Let's see if he can put it in and capitalize. And he does. So smooth.
That just feels nice. Get that little roll towards the basket. Makes you feel more confident, I feel like.
For sure.
Yeah.
I will always take any movement towards the basket that I can
Yeah.
get.
I feel like I'd rather throw further away from the basket than watch it roll away from the basket. Just
Yeah,
mentally,
I would have to agree with that.
You know, so when you get that that nice roll towards the basket, it always kind of helps the mentality a little bit. On to hole 3, par 3, 334 feet. This is kind of bending right up over a hill, and then it goes downhill into a pretty guarded basket. A lot of these guys are going to be throwing a turnover backhand I've seen some rollers backhand that will punch through, and then maybe a forehand that's going to slice and get down the hill.
Yeah, this one's all about the angle, like you said, because the initial shot out of the gap, you have to go over a little hill, but then it's going to go back down. So it kind of just narrows the area in which you're trying to hit.
Yeah, and Presnell, as you saw there, just threw a backhand roller. So a couple different ways you can attack this, but it is a very low ceiling when you get into the tree line down there. So the roller is a good play if you can get it down. This wind, I feel like it'd be a little tricky on a day like this, but he managed. Not a fantastic look for 2, but I think
Looks like Paul is kind of thinking about what he wants to do here, and he's switched up his initial plan. He's going to go with a different disc. Maybe as that wind gusted, he decided to change his mind. Oh, he sneaks through. And wow.
Yeah.
Puts himself close again.
That's a great turnover. Brock here going with a little bit of a traditional forehand line. That low ceiling at the front of the tee box really can get in your head because it's going uphill. You need to crest that hill, and then it's going down to another low ceiling into the woods. So it's a really tricky shot.
Yeah, so many obstacles to avoid. And even then, the green is tricky. It slopes away. So it's a very fast green, rocky, unpredictable.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. We got Max here coming up with a forehand as well. It's maybe a little early.
If he can get some ground play, though, I don't know. He didn't look stoked about it, and as we can see, it looks like he didn't get into the wood line, which is something that you are trying to do here on your first shot.
Yeah, the window's just up to your left there on the left side of the screen. He may actually have a little bit of a path through here, though, to get to the green. A lot of spin on that.
Just needs to check up. Nice. Very nice shot.
That's a tough shot to make.
Yeah, just get it to check and not catch a rock and roll away on you.
Presnell probably just looking for a layup here. Yeah, stick it close to the basket.
You have no reason to get too greedy in his position.
Brock, this is a tough putt.
Yeah,
you run this and you miss this, you're way down the hill.
Oh, but he doesn't.
Great shot, man.
Makes it. So much confidence.
That puts him at 2 under for the round. Paul, kind of a similar shot here downhill, a little bit closer, but you got to make sure you draw metal at least.
Yeah, I know Brock's trying to keep pace with these guys, right? So Paul's looking at a birdie here, and he's feeling like he needs to keep pace with them as Paul sticks it in for another birdie.
Yeah, ties Presnell there.
Yep.
So tie at the top of the leaderboard. Brock only a few strokes back. Max taps in a great recovery there.
Agreed. Yeah, that was a good play
for the par. That's a nice scramble shot. A lot of spin. And Presnell taps out his par.
Hole 4, this is a fun one. 484 feet to par 4. You go up that gap and hard turn to the right. You go all the way down this pathway, and then it drops down to the right even more to this lower level, which is a new addition to this hole. And it is guarded by trees upon trees upon trees. So you have to hit your gap.
Yeah, this is a kind of a redesign on a hole. Hole 4 at Quail made it a lot more difficult. And so what you're really looking to do is, get out that gap with a turnover, just like Paul has done. That's a perfect shot.
That was textbook.
Yeah, I think you might be a little bit guarded by those trees.
Sure.
But yeah, you almost want to end up left, so you have a line.
Yeah,
you have a line down that hill.
So, let's see. Brock, it looked like for a minute he was going to line up the forehand, but he's going backhand and finds an early tree on the left side. It kicks him over to the right, and we'll have to see what he can do from over there.
Yeah, that's a tough lie. He's pinched into the right. He's pretty much going to have to throw a forehand, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe a turnover, but Presnell here, I believe he may be playing this course blind. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he's ever played Quail before.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, I remember hearing that
with the course
after
changes,
the fact and was mind blown.
Yeah. With the course changes and like I mentioned before, getting into town the morning of the event.
Yeah. Especially these blue pads. I mean, there's some tight angles you got to hit.
Looks like he flipped that one up pretty well.
Wow. Speaking of tight angles, so he's on this collection of trees on the right side, but I mean, considering this is a par 4, he has the ability to get up and down from there.
Max lines up the backhand. Looks like he might have put that a little too inside. Yeah, hits a tree and gets knocked down. From here, it's pretty much going to be a placement shot up the mouth to the top of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get lucky and get a roller or skip down the hill.
Speaking of roller.
Yeah.
Is Roller getting ready to throw a roller?
Forehand roller.
No, he faked me out. So
yeah,
he goes with the forehand, clips something, but he does end up in a decent spot where if he can hit this gap and filter down to the bottom on his next shot, he could save par. Or I guess he could go big over the top. Okay, straight up.
He could, yeah. I think he's just trying to play up.
I've seen some people go
and get to the top of the hill. Yeah, he's still a little short from where he wanted to be. Going to be a tough up and down to save.
So yeah, Max is likely going to have to just find a gap with a forehand here and filter back down to the right. But instead, he finds the tree in front of him. And he doesn't get to move up the fairway very far, but he's at least at a better angle going in to the latter half of the hole here.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see just how treacherous it is out of the box on this hole. It's not even just the green and the slope of the hill. It's getting out of the tee is tough enough. So here's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Presnell going to go up over the top.
Yeah, he just needs to kind of work back slightly left and plinko its way down. That is way up there.
Looks about pin high.
Good work on the cameraman finding that one.
Yeah. Ramon, nice work.
Yeah. All right, so this is Paul's drive, and he's just going to want to put a putter up and let it fade down to the right towards the basket.
Yeah, it needs to drift right, but it needs to finish left. Wow. That's just about perfect. Can't tell exactly where he is in relation to the basket, but that looked great.
Yeah. It, I believe, left him a look for a birdie. He should have no problem at least getting up and down for par.
Rock here with his fourth throw.
Comes in a little early and left and might have some obstacles in his way on his putt.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough line.
That is Quail for you, though. I mean, you get off the beaten path, there could be any types of things in your way when you're trying to go for that putt.
Absolutely, and it's a little bit of a stark contrast from ICC yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of open field, a lot of out of bounds, lines. There's not much OB at Quail, but these trees and these lines are very tight.
Yeah.
Very treacherous.
Well, you did say it was going to test their skills on all levels, so I see that happening here for sure.
Yeah, I don't see Presnell throwing many spike hyzers like that.
No, it's not unless he has to. It's good out from there.
Well, look how close Paul's is. Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah,
it's like a tap-in birdie. Brock trying to put this one away.
So again, just enough in the way, to make it, maybe a routine putt, just something that you have to think about a little more. But for Brock, no problem.
Great recovery.
I'm so impressed with his gameplay the more and more that I watch him on coverage.
He's a relatively new player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's only been around PDJ maybe a year or two. Currently also a Team Smokin Aces member.
Yes, sir.
On the red team. Paul, it doesn't get much easier for a birdie on this hole.
Right. I feel like he made that look way easier than it really is.
He made it look easier from the blue tee than we do from the red tee. Let's be honest.
I don't know if that says something about him or if it says something about us.
I think
or
him.
both.
Yeah, or both, maybe. Either way, great way to play the hole. Pres taps in for his par.
I guess all we have left is Max at this point. And we will move on to the next.
Yep. Next up, we have hole 5, par 3, 277 feet. This one is, as you can see, uphill. Goes across the ridge, all the way up the hill. Very rocky hillside. So if you put this one too far to the right, it's going all the way down the hill. If you throw too low and you hit these rocks, it's just going to stop in your tracks.
Yeah, and rollaways are a thing here.
Very much so. A lot of trees. There's only a couple little lines. You have a backhand and a forehand line. This is also one of those new, redesigned new holes at Quail Ridge.
Yeah, we want to give a shout out to the Parks Department, St. Charles County Parks Department, for all of their help and assistance in getting this course redesigned and helping us lay new tee pads and retaining walls. We really appreciate everything you guys have done to make this possible.
Paul caught one of the trees and took a pretty nasty kick to the left. Presnell looked like he had a good line there. He's looking there. I don't know
Just
if
a few
it rolled.
steps outside of circle, I think.
Yeah, well, it looked, the way he was looking, I wasn't sure if it started rolling or not.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Well, and we did say that's possible.
Yeah. Brock's going to try to take the forehand line.
Shout out to Ramon on camera in the background, helping Skyheiser.
That's a
bring
good
us
looking
his
shot.
coverage. That is a good shot. So he is, what, just at the edge of the circle, it looks like?
Yep. Still even there, though, you're at least 10 foot below the basket.
Yeah.
Probably 10, 15 feet maybe below the basket. So it's a pretty uphill putt. Also can be dangerous if you cage it or band it and it comes back towards you. That can roll a long way. Ooh, good second tree there.
Yeah, yeah.
Kept him from going far to the left.
Yeah, and honestly, oh gosh, he could have ended up in a way worse spot. I'm assuming he's just going to try to pitch up under the basket and, get out.
Yeah, from here there's not much else. You could give it a run. Ooh, that burned out early.
Yeah, well, left a tester on a hole where anything can happen.
Paul here looks like he got a decent kick. I know he hit a tree, but looks like he's still in pretty good position to give this a run. Hat flew off. Good shot.
Goodness, that was a good go.
Wasn't sure if we were going to get an Adam Hammis
Yeah, coming
flash
out of
there.
Coming out of the hat and making the putt.
I'm telling you, the camera angle does not do this hill justice.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's such a calf burner.
Oof. Good height. Just missed it.
All right, let's see if Brock can keep on with the great putting. And I jinxed him. Commentator's curse, like literally right out of my mouth.
Just missed off to the right a little bit. Looks like everybody here is going to be trying for their pars.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you see that happen a lot. You sit.
Yep. It's just so uphill.
He did get very fortunate, though.
That's
Didn't
true.
roll away.
Yeah, that's true. Count those blessings here when you got them, for sure.
Still feels like a loss. Missing the putt, but it could have been so much worse.
Yeah, definitely. At that point, you just want to move on. Last thing you want to see is a roll away and have to walk all the way back down that hill. I've had to do it. It's hard to keep your head up.
Brock and Andrew both tap in their 3. Paul does the same as well.
And we'll go to hole 6. This is 310 feet. It is a par 3. You're going to have to get out through the gap and turn way up to the left. It's almost like a candy cane, the way that it curls back around.
Yeah, a little bit. Some have mentioned a little bit of a horseshoe-ish.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I guess I don't know if there's a way you can like cheat the corner and cut through.
Well, as you see here, Paul's just throwing a putter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Standstill putter just to get through this initial gap of field goal trees and get yourself in position. That's smart.
Yeah,
It's a smart way to dissect it.
If you miss this tunnel, if you hit one of those first 2 guardian trees and you kick right or left, you are in trouble.
Yeah.
Off the bat.
So, Prez looks like he's down by the position on the right side of the fairway, but he should be looking up to this basket, so he should have a good view from where he's at. Ooh.
Brock, yeah.
Bummer.
That one hurts. First tree.
Yeah, that's never fun. And then like to be Max and have to step up right after that, like being the person after you just watch that happen, you're like, oh man.
I always think to myself, don't hit that tree, and then I hit that tree.
Man, right?
Every time.
Let's see. He gets
Oh. I feel like he was going for a skip shot. So
he played it low.
I've seen that they play like a low flare skip and try to cut off as much distance as they can.
There's so much on the ground though, it's tough. And so I think Brock is trying to cut this corner now and see if he can find a way through instead of going all the way up and around.
Yeah, I couldn't see what happened there.
We'll have to see if the risk was worth the reward.
I can't tell. I think it was a tomahawk.
Okay. At the edge of the circle.
Yeah.
Putt.
Peeking out. He should have a look for a 3.
This is a tough par 3. I think the way Paul played it was smart. I mean, we haven't finished the ball yet, so don't let me get ahead of myself. We'll see. But just the fact that this played a half a stroke over par. You know, if you can just take the 3 and dissect it into thirds and get up and get out, then that's smart golf to me.
And you can see here, with a putter off the tee, Paul pretty much has a direct line at the basket.
Exactly. Yep.
You can give it a little bit of a bid for a 2, but you can lay up and just take your easy 3 if you want to. Of course, he's trying to gain a couple strokes on Presnell, and
that's a bummer.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate tree kick. Brock is still trying to fight out of this. This is what that first tree does to you.
Yeah. Yep. This is one of those where you're like, should I just have played it up the fairway, or should I just keep hacking and try to cut this corner off? We've all been there. But, okay, so it looks like he's going to get out with only losing 1 stroke with a bogey. So I think it could be worse. I mean, the other players are struggling on this hole as well. Maybe it's going to be for double bogey. There's been a couple extra shots in there, but...
Yeah. His tap in here will be, I believe, for a 5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Good run there. Max.
This is for his 3, though, right?
This is for a birdie. Yes. I'm sorry, a par.
That's what I'm saying. It's such a hard 3 that at this point...
Kind of feels like a birdie.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can see he's contested here with these branches. Placement is very key here at Quail Ridge.
Gave it a go.
Andrew looking to cash in. Take a par. He will gain some strokes on the card if he does.
And he does.
Right on the stripe.
Yep. That is how that's done. And that helps him get back 1, obviously on the card, but right now he's chasing after Paul, so it just puts him a little closer.
Max tapping in.
And Paul is getting dialed in so that he can make that routine putt, not taking anything for granted.
That was, unfortunately, a bogey for Paul.
And at that point, all the more reason to make sure you're dialed.
Up next, we got hole 7, par 3, 375 feet. This is a very tough shot. There are a lot of different lines off the tee. It's uphill initially off the tee, so you have to make sure you get the height, but if you get too high, you're going to have a low ceiling. You pretty much want to push as far up as you can. I feel like you're almost bound to hit a tree at some point.
Yeah, I mean, this fairway is littered with trees, and it can make that wherever your drive lands. I mean, that's the deciding factor, I feel like, on if you're going to get this one or not, because that second shot can be so tough. There's so many things you have to get around. This one played a little over half a stroke over par as well.
Yeah, some of these newer holes out of Quail Ridge are tough designs. I know that Paul just crushing one exactly where you want to be.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
That's probably one of the best drives I've ever seen on this hole.
Yeah.
To be honest, at least where it ended up.
I have no words.
Max. It's like a little bit of a flippy disc there. Flipped it up.
Okay.
Following right along with Paul.
Yeah, you just getting that skip. If you can work slightly left as you go forward is helpful, but you just want to be able to see the basket on that second shot.
Brock, last couple holes have been a little rough trying to get a good start here. Off the tee. Caught a late tree. I think he still should be okay. Looks like he might be by the A placement.
Okay, so I can't quite tell where Prez is, but it looks like he still has a decent way to go.
Yeah, he's on the left side of the fairway. Not tucked too bad in.
Okay, just inside circle.
Yeah, he should be able to catch that.
Yeah, I mean, Prez is a great putter, so if he can give himself an opportunity, that's what these pros do, and then they, convert. Well, the rest of us might not.
These up shots almost feel like a scramble shot.
Yeah.
No matter where you are in the fairway, you're pretty much just trying to dodge trees.
For sure.
Get it up there as much as you can. Brock obviously just parked that thing. That's a great up shot. Nice easy three he doesn't have to think about.
Okay, that didn't go too far. He does have those two little trees that might be in his way, but it looks like maybe the wind got under that just a little bit, or it caught something. It's hard to tell. I mean, you can see the wind blowing even in the trees here in the woods. There's gaps and openings where you can still feel that breeze, and it could put some play on your disc.
Paul here with a direct look at the basket for two.
I've seen him make some long ones, so
I hope he gets this.
That would be awesome.
Honestly. You do have that little bit of low ceiling coming into the green, though, so you got to spin this.
Oh,
wow.
Man, that was sick. He loves his little stepper jump putt. Just floats it right up in there.
Yeah, run that back. That is awesome. Nice putt, Paul.
Good job, buddy. That smile. I don't think I've ever seen that guy without a smile on his face.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah. Great attitude. All right, here we have Prez looking to save his three. And he does it.
I love his unorthodox putting style.
Yeah.
It's so different, but like you said earlier, it's whatever feels comfortable to you.
Exactly, because we know that most of it's in the mind, right? So whatever makes you feel at ease. Oh, that's a bummer. Just a little much loft underneath it, and it hits that top band. As Brock taps out. And we move on to hole 8. This is a par 3, 256 feet. You have to go up over the crest of the hill, avoiding those chopped tree stumps and the other trees in the fairway as you crest back down the hill. The basket is on the hillside here. It's a fast green, and rollerways are real. So these players are going to try to hit this tight gap, and they're, trying to birdie this one, I think, but not trying to make a mess of it either.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
At 260, it's perfectly normal for them to blow by the basket.
Right.
Unintentionally, they're trying to throw it hard, hit that line. However, if you do go past the basket, it's pretty much almost straight downhill. I figured just a nice putter, Paul. Looks like he got it a little turned over. Didn't quite finish, but he should have kind of a bid. A look for a 2.
Ready for a fun fact?
Yeah.
This hole played at exactly even par.
For the MPO field.
Yeah.
Nice.
So let's see if these players here are outliers in one direction or the other on that stat.
Yeah. I hope so. See some fireworks.
Heck yeah.
Brock lining up the backhand.
And a little too turned over. I think there might have been some wind. It kind of looks like it's coming a little left to right and gusty. Like once they crest over the hill, a little headwind. So it's just kind of flipping them to the right a little more than I think they want to be.
Yeah, you almost have to play that turnover angle a little bit, but once the wind catches the flight foot,
Yeah.
it's just going to want to keep pushing to the right. This is dangerous.
Yeah, even layups here are like super scary.
Yep, smart play.
Yep.
There are a few things, little obstacles on the green that you can hit that will help you. So with your upshot, you really want to be short. Like, you don't want to go past it.
Just,
Tricky little out.
yep, just tosses out there and just gonna try to scramble and make par.
Max has a nice little window.
Yeah, it's a nice view there. He gives it a good bid.
Sit.
He's gonna have a little comebacker up at the basket. And
Paul's looking to get another stroke on Andrew here. Down to a knee.
he's so tall, those long legs. Look at that stretch there.
What is he, like 6'4", 6'5"?
It's a giant.
Yeah.
Let's see if the gentle giant can put this one in.
Taking his time. I think he might have a little headwind.
Yeah, he's very calculated, and I like that. He really takes his time and thinks about it. Gives it a good bid, but a little too lofty, and does it? It does.
Oh, yeah.
No? Okay. I don't think this is as far away as it looks on camera, but tester up the hill in the wind nonetheless, and it's enough that doesn't make it.
Yeah, after the last hole, he hit the headband. I think he might have been a little worried about going too high. I don't know. It's in between. I mean, 5, he was a little low.
Yeah. Well,
7,
sometimes
he was a
just
little
beating yourself up for even having to be in that position, you know?
Yeah. Trying to play the layup and being that far away. Andrew, tap in the 3. Paul's going to do the same.
And we shimmy over to our last hole on the front 9.
Here we got hole 9. You can see this tunnel. Par 3, 395 feet. Pretty much dead straight for about 320 feet. And then it's going to break to the left. You want something to just flip up dead straight. Don't hit any trees. And you want it to finish to the left.
Yeah, easier said than done, maybe?
Oh, it's absolutely easier said than done.
If I'm playing this hole, like, from these pads, please have it be in the winter time where there's not as many leaves on the trees. I mean, it's hard anyway. And then you add the thick of it, and, oh, man, it's rough.
Yeah, we did our best to, yep, you're going to see a lot of that, unfortunately. We did our best to clear this tunnel out, because when you're at the bottom of that hill, it's about 30 or 40 feet, so we had pole saws and tried to clean it up, a lot of those loose limbs and stuff like that to give them a tunnel. Presnell here, caught a right side tree, kicked him left a little up the hill. I couldn't tell if he got out of the shrubbery or not.
Oh, man, yeah. You just flip a coin and hope that you land in a good spot where you can just make something work for your next shot.
Brock looks like he's got this on a good line.
That was great. Now, it didn't work back up the hill, like, left enough, per se, but, I mean, he got out straight through the gap, and that is step one on this hole.
Absolutely. And you don't want it to finish right. You can see that, that kind of creek line, that hill on the right side of this fairway falls off to the right, and it can roll all the way down that hill, too.
Okay, so Paul kicked, and he's in a really tough spot. He has to ante around these trees, and then he needs to go back left. But I think he kicked off to the right again, if I remember, because at this point I was walking with and watching, and so now he's down by the bridge, which is, I don't know, he's like a third of the way down the hole.
Yeah, it's treacherous.
Tough footing, and now he has to go way uphill.
Way uphill, blind.
Blind.
Yeah, you can't see the basket from here. This hole played as the second hardest of the day at 3.77.
So, yeah, closer to a 4 for sure. Wow, that shot was fantastic. He's inside the circle. Oh, my gosh. If you guys knew where that was, like in the real world, where he had to get, like, that's hard.
That was nuts. Like, yeah. I'm throwing like a tomahawk from there.
All right, so Presnell looks like he's able to put one inside the circle from where he was and navigate that situation without too much damage.
Might have a little tree in his way, but he's good with the straddle putt.
Yeah.
Should be fine.
Max is not sure what to do here. I mean, he looked like he was trying to stretch out, but it is quite a stretch and a reach for him. And I think he would be going against the wind in the way that he would need to release that. Like, the wind's not helping what he's trying to do here. So let's see. I think he changed discs as well.
I like the thought into it, though. The thought process of sometimes you do need to change a disc depending on what the wind is doing or going uphill or downhill. You have your 30 seconds. Take your time.
Yeah, definitely.
Think it out.
Assess all of the things around you in that 30 seconds. Brock throws his drive up there and gives it a solid bid, but does not convert, so he should be tapping in for a 3. And now we see Max lining up. He's just on the edge of the circle. It's a little low.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. Prez. And this is to save his 3, right? Edge of circle.
Correct.
As well.
This is the first par.
Dead center. He's nails.
Yeah. On the post.
Yeah. And that was a great recovery from Paul. Obviously, he takes, what, is that a bogey there?
That was a bogey.
But,
yes.
Man, from where he was twice in both of those spots, it could have been way worse.
Yeah, you can see what Quail Ridge can do to you here if you get off the line.
That is no joke. Well, that was fun. That concludes our front 9 coverage here at Quail Ridge Park.
Looking at the scores, we have Prez at 10 under, Paul at 10 under, Brock at 4 under, and Max at 1 over.
We hope that you enjoyed our coverage, and if you did, we encourage you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you to Skyheiser Productions for bringing us this content, and we hope to see you all on the back 9.
See you on the back 9.